Girls, here we so welcome to Sporty Saturday. Tackle your rejection. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. So give me 1 second here, ladies, and anyone joining us today. All right. So today we are going to look at how we need to handle ourselves when we hear those dreaded no's. So you'll notice that I put a mirror on here because I want you to think of this as you. Look in the mirror and say to yourself, I can do this, even when I hear a rejection. All right. So the first thing I want to start with today is we're going to take a look at this quote. So I'm going to read it to you. Rejection isn't failure. Failure is giving up. Everybody gets rejected. It's how you handle it that determines where you're going to end up, which I just love this quote. Okay. Let that sink in. So it's not a failure. Failure is when you actually physically give up. We all face the rejection, right? But what you do with it is what's going to determine your success and your outcome. One thing I always say to everybody that's on my team is I say the only way you actually fail in this business is if you actually quit the business. Rejection is just a play in the game. Think of, football, for instance. There's multiple plays that need to be made in order to win a game. Not every play is going to be perfect. In fact, some plays might be a little bit messy. But if the team gave up, can you just imagine what would happen, right? If they gave up in the middle of the game, what would happen? They would lose. But imagine if they persevered through that game, tough plays, getting tackled, maybe weather's an effect in there, all these different things would come into place. And imagine if they just kept pushing forward and didn't let the last play or the last drop of rain affect them. In the end, what would they have? Probably a win, right? They would have some success. So you cannot take a rejection personal. It's not about you. Remember, the business is always about them. When you hear a rejection, there's ways to handle it that we can then turn it into a yes. And sometimes it may still be a no, but again, it's how you handle it, which is going to determine where your business will go or grow. All right, so we're going to take a look at this. So I'm going to give you just an example of something that you can do. All right, so this is just one thing, and then we're going to really dive into the rejection piece. But I want you to think of a ladder approach, okay? Now, I know typically a ladder goes up and down, when you climb it to get something that's high on the shelf, like in my case, when I'm 4'10" and I can't reach anything. But in football, there's ladders too. They're kind of on the ground, right? But with a ladder, no matter what, there's always a starting point on the ladder and then an ending point because you can't go any further, right? So I want you to start when you are offering opportunities in our business is to think of this approach because it's very easy for somebody to quickly say no. Because in how our brains are wired, we always are thinking in the minute. So when somebody asks me to do something, immediately the word no may come out of my mouth. So what we want to do is we want to kind of break down the ladder system. So then that way, when we do ask a question, we want to eventually get to a yes. If we start off asking right for a booking and to partner with us, sometimes it's very quick for them to say no. And the only other place that we have to go then is to see if they need anything and we want to make a sale. So, one thing I want to challenge you to do is to kind of change your mindset to start with a ladder approach to your business. Instead of always going right to go to a booking, because of course we want the sales, we want to have those shows, but instead I want you to think about what this business has done for you. Whether you're a veteran in the business or you're new in the business, think about it. Even if you're brand new, if you purchase a kit for $150 and you just stocked your kitchen with almost $700 of products, that is a major benefit to you. You're not losing. And if you make your first paycheck and you get $150 back, you really don't lose because that's how this business operates. All right. So what I want you to think of is I want you to start by asking people to join your team or maybe offer them that business approach first. That way, in the latter effect, you have the next place to go. And of course, I'm going to do a whole different training on recruiting. So I'm not talking about recruiting, but I want you to think of the approach of if you start by offering that business opportunity with these amazing products to stock kitchens and all people can earn, if they say no to you for that, then it's easier for them to say yes to having a party. So they got that no out of their system. You heard the rejection, but again, how you handle the rejection will determine what's going to happen next. So if you take it from when they say no to the business, or maybe they say yes and now you just grew your team, right? And you're like, oh my God, now what do I do? Okay. But if they say no to that, it gives you that leverage to say, okay, I understand. Maybe the business is not for you. What about if I set you up for a fall fun get together and I help you earn some great products for your kitchen? That seems like such a less stressful approach for people. So they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, she's not asking me, she's not bothering me to join the business. She's not making me feel pressure because that's like a commitment I have to make. But hosting a party is a lot easier. So I could say yes to this. But then again, same thing, the latter approach, you could go to the sale if they still say no. But we're going to take a look at this today and how we handle some of these approaches. But I want you to change the mindset to kind of start with that business offer first. That way it gets that no out of their head and it gets them to say it. And then it gives you that leverage. And like I said, if it's a bonus if they decide to join your team. All right, so time to tackle some rejection. So today I'm thinking football season. I'm a Notre Dame fan. We're getting all excited, right? So now what's going to happen? Let's take a look at these. How many of you have heard the rejection? I am too busy. I bet you're all sitting on the other side of the computers nodding your head, right? I know. Because the first thing that I want to say when people tell me they're too busy, the the sassy Vanessa wants to say, oh yeah, I'm not busy at all. I sit at home on my butt and eat bonbons, right? But that's not the reality. We are all busy. We're in a time of our lives where I just think life is busy. There's just no way around it. Everybody is. Okay. We get it. But no matter what anyone says, there's always an approach that we can take. Again, how do we handle the rejection of I'm too busy? What do we do with that? Okay. We first want them to know that we understand where they're coming from. We don't want to go back at them like sassy Vanessa because they're going to probably not ever talk to you again. All right. So bite your tongue on that one. So, what I want you to do though is go to them and say, I completely understand, relate to them, and let them know it's okay. Then I want you to reassure them. August is a really busy time for everyone. I totally understand. Then this is still your chance though to get a booking. You can't just say, oh, well, that person's busy and then stop the conversation. If I stopped the conversation there, I would have been out of business 10 years ago, everybody, because I had to learn how to take it to that next step and still have that conversation and to have that trust with my customers and my friends and my acquaintances so that I could still have that relationship where we still could take it a little bit further. Okay. So what I would say is, I understand right now is busy. By chance, would October or November work a little bit better for you? The reason I give them 2 or 3 months out is because I know that in life, we all go through seasons, as I've mentioned before. So give them 2 or 3 months later. Yes, you're not getting that immediate satisfaction of a booking right now in August, but guess what? You're filling your calendar for later months. Remember what we say is if you do what you do today is going to then, you're going to see that growth in 30, 60, 90 days from now. Okay. You're planting these seeds. Sometimes you're going to have a spontaneous yes right away, which those are the ones that we truly love. We know that that's just not the reality. But if you don't, you cannot just shut yourself down and think that this is the end and that nobody wants to do business with you. You got to work through it to still get to get bookings on your calendar. Now, another option that I do when somebody says, I'm too busy, I might say, oh my gosh, you know what? This is perfect. I am looking for busy people this month. I want to try a new party style with a 15-minute express. And what that is I'm going to help you earn some great products to get some fall recipes on your table for your family because I know how chaotic your life is because you just told me this. But if you have 15 minutes, even when you're at like a kid's practice, we could totally run a 15-minute express party. It's 10 posts, 15 minutes of your time. You and your friends are going to learn some recipes. And in the end, you get to go shopping. I mean, how does that sound? Right? All right. So again, take it that step further and be like, oh, well, I'm looking for busy people. Anybody that knows, busy people know how to get things done. So don't be afraid to take that approach a step further and turn it into a positive. Rejection number 2. How many of you have ever heard? I don't know enough people, right? This is one I hear often. So all of these rejections I'm giving you today are the things that I personally have heard in my 10 years of business. These are the ones that I've heard, multiple times again, but I never shut down. One thing that you're going to need to think of yourself as wearing a hat in this business, you're kind of like a therapist, okay? I always say, like in my teaching job, I'm a nurse, I'm a therapist, I'm a parent sometimes, I'm mom in the classroom. They call me mom half the time. They forget, especially coming back from summer. So in this business, I want you to put on that therapy hat because what you're going to do is you're going to have to kind of talk these people off of a ledge anytime they give you rejections. Because, like I said to you, people panic instantly. So if they are currently at a party, whether it's a Facebook or a table party or it's a home party, they see that that host has, 100 guests, 75 guests, in-person party, they have 15. Immediately when you now talk to them about having a party, they think I don't know this many people because they're relating it to what their experience is. So it's your time to put on the therapy hat and talk them off that ledge and reassure them it's okay. You're going to help them. So here's what I simply say. I understand. Do you notice the pattern in my first two rejections? I let them know that I'm understanding where they're coming from and I can relate to them. All of my hosts that have said this exact same thing to me, that they don't know enough people, and that's okay. I'm going to reassure you that I'm going to help you brainstorm a list of who to invite. All right, guys. Now, this is where you pull the Franks list out, right? All right. So I always tell you not to necessarily use Franks to be cold messages, but in this case, we're going to cold invite people because we're going to help this host think about all the people they know. And I simply would say, okay, so tell me, what friends would you invite? They're going to start to rattle names off. What relatives? And I just go through the Franks list with them to reassure them that they really do know more people than they thought they did. So it's okay not to panic, you know, go through that, help them realize how many people they have. And usually by the end, I can help them come up with a list of 40 to 50 people. And that's not even writing it down. Like that's just them verbalizing it to me. And if you're online, one of the things I would suggest is if you're trying to go back and forth with somebody, and this is a good time to be like, hey, can I call you for a minute? I know we all hate the phone. Years ago, we run to answer the phone, and now today we run to get away from the phone. But pick up the phone and let them hear your voice and talk to them about how to generate this list. You're going to make them feel so much better. And by the end, you're going to ease their mind and they're going to be like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I could try this. I think this will be okay. Rejection three. My house is too small. Now, if you're doing home parties, obviously, this is one that you're going to hear. If you're not doing home parties, I really do recommend getting out there and doing one. Put yourself out there, jump out of that comfort zone this fall. It's a great time to do it. People want to get together. And I'm going to tell you is a little tidbit on the side here. My home parties are rocking. So people are buying, I don't know what they're buying with, maybe a credit card that is maxed out, who knows? But they are buying things. They love touching things. They want to see things. So don't be afraid to get out there and do some home parties this fall. All right. But this is one I definitely hear. The reason being, same thing. If they're currently at a house party and this house is, huge, they're going to panic or they're going to be like, oh my gosh, well, this so and so's kitchen's so big. So when you ask them to have a party, before they even get the words out of their mouth that their house is too small, their brains are operating at a speed of like a million. And in their head, they're going, my kitchen's not big enough. I don't know enough people to put in this house. How could I do this? What would I have? How do I get all these people to come to my house? And they are already thinking of it, every negative thing, because that's what our brains tend to do until we train it to be more positive. Okay. Not everybody's a positive, happy person, and that's okay. So, what you're going to do at this point and say, oh my goodness, your house is not too small. I could do a party in a bathroom if it came down to it. I'll bring my quick cooker in. We'll do fajitas, margaritas, and we'll do pitas with a double S, which stands for pain in the ass, small space. I hope you like that one, girls. Trust me, any size house can work. But if they have ever been to a party, they're going to automatically compare. So just reassure them that you have been, you've done parties in all different size houses. Now lie. I'm gonna tell you, fake it till you make it. If you've never actually done home parties and you're gonna put yourself out there, fake it. Oh my goodness, I've done so many parties, all different size spaces work. It's really not a big deal. I can do it in your living room. I have products that we could plug in. We could do a quick sips and dips. We could do it on your patio. Give them some options. Say to them, describe your house for me. Tell me what your house is like. Where is your favorite spot in your house that you like to spend time with your family? We don't need to make this a kitchen party. It would be if they enjoy sitting on their deck, do an easy sips and dips party. There's lots of things that you can do, but make it a spot where it's memorable for them and their family that they can connect to and realize it's okay no matter where you do that party. We have products for every part of the house. And I'm sure if it comes down to it, we could do one in the bathroom. But when I say I've done parties in all types of places, I really have. So don't be afraid and reach out to your uplines. They can assist you if you're not sure what to do, if you're put in a situation where, maybe your host doesn't have certain, like maybe they don't have a microwave or maybe they do want to do it outside and you're not sure how to do that. You have help. We will help you. Okay. But again, you're talking them off that ledge. Rejection 4, they don't respond when you message them. Oh my God, this was what I was so guilty of in the beginning of my business. In the beginning of my business, if they didn't respond to me in my head, they were a no. I bet some of you are sitting there going, oh, yeah, I'm guilty of that too. Because we automatically, again, go to our brain and think, they don't want to do business with me. They're saying no. Guys, I'm guilty. If you message me and I read my watch and I look at it and think I'll respond to you later, I forget it. This is just our life. Remember back to rejection 1, people are busy, right? You cannot take it personal. You got to let it go. Let it go. Okay. When somebody does not respond to you, you wait 24 to 48 hours. You then reach back out and just say, hey, Betty, I wasn't sure if you saw my message yesterday. I know how busy life is. Did you see it? Ask them a direct question. As I have said before, if they still don't answer you, chalk it up. It could be a season of life. Notate that, go back in 3 months and touch base again. But don't take it personal. Just keep moving. Every time you send a message, talk to somebody, you're planting seeds that could grow your humongous garden in business within the next 3 months. So don't be afraid of them not answering. And again, if they do answer, work through some of these other rejections. If they then tell you, oh my gosh, yes, I'm so sorry, Lee. I didn't get back to you. Life has been busy. Unfortunately, you know what? I'm not interested in a party right now. Well, you know what? Then you got to do. Then you take it to the next level and say, understand, but you know what? I know the fall season's coming up and I know we love our comfort foods, or I know that you're busy. Is there anything that you need that I could, reach out to you when I have a discount party going on? Guys, you can have a discount party every single day, right? So you could reach out to them in a week or 2 days later, like, hey, oh my gosh, I forgot to let you know. I wanted to let you know that I'm doing my August sale right now for back to school. And I know you said 2 days ago that you could use a new sheet pan. So I wanted to let you know I have that discount for you. So if they're still not going to, host a party, don't be afraid to still build the relationship, see if they need something, and then still get the sale. You may have a faithful customer all around then when you have that further conversation. Rejection 5, I don't have the money right now. I don't know about you guys, but I know my pocketbook is a lot less these days. The cost of groceries is definitely hitting our budget pretty quickly. So one of the things that people often get is a misconception when they are asked to host a party. They automatically often think of that they have to pay, they have to spend money in order to host a party. And we know behind the scenes that's really not true. Do they earn 50% off items? Do they earn 60% items? Absolutely. But that's up to them if they want to use it. I always tell my hosts, when they say this rejection to me about it, I say, oh my goodness, well, then we are definitely on the right path of like talking and allowing me to help you, because our parties, you really don't need money for. One of the beautiful perks about Pampered Chef is the fact that we love to help people get products in their kitchens, and we do that with free money. So yes, you're going to earn a 60% off item. Yes, you're going to have opportunities for those half price. However, my goal is to get you as much free as possible so that you don't have to spend money. And one of the other things that I love about Pampered Chef is the fact that you don't even pay tax on that free money. So you really could just use your free money and walk away. And I always love to let my hosts know that, once they reach a qualifying party, if money is an issue, I'm not going to lie to you. I let them know that when their party qualifies, I'll cover their shipping, because I know that if I can host coach them the right way, I'm going to make that $7.95 back in my pocket plus much more. And I reassure them that they don't have to spend that money. So I let them know that. And then again, one of the other recommendations that I do make once we have the party, once they've earned, half price and things like that, I do tell them, I'll be like, hey, what seasonings do you typically buy when you are making your dinners and your meals for your family? And, they'll rattle off some different kinds. And I say, well, I know you have the 50% off items. I know you really didn't want to spend money. And I completely respect that. And you do not have to. But something that people think is that when there's a half price item, that they have to get the most expensive item in the catalog. And that's not true with our company. So I'm not sure if you wanted to pick up your garlic and your 3 onion rub. We could take those $6 rubs and knock it down to $3. And you're still going to save money in your pocket versus buying it at Weiss or Walmart. And I just reassure them that that's another option. Okay. But money right now is one rejection a lot of us may face. Other rejection is I really don't need anything right now. So this is the rejection that I seem to get from people who think that they seem to know that they think that they know own everything in our catalogs. They're our veteran, customers and hosts. So they think they own everything. And I always kind of snicker and I just say to them, we don't own everything because our new products start next month and you don't own any of those. So I joke about stuff like that. But the people that say, I really don't need anything, oh, I have everything, my kitchen's full, I'm downsizing, we get those rejections, right? But here's what you could tell them, especially right now. Oh my gosh, I totally respect that. I know I need to downsize things at my house too. It seems like, we obtain all these things over the years and then, we have to declutter. So I do respect that. But here's a thought. Would you like to just get your friends together and I'll come and cook? And then when you earn the host rewards, and I know you don't need anything, but wouldn't it be awesome if you could get some of your earned items as Christmas presents for friends and family? You could give a beautiful gift and you didn't even have to pay for it because you earned it from hosting your own party. A lot of times I'm noticing some of my older generations of veteran people who have been, Pampered Chef shoppers, they will bite at that because they do want to then create hope chests for their grandkids or, pass something down to their kids. And I always find that in the end, they end up buying stuff for themselves anyways, because once I demo something, they're like, oh, I do need that. Or, I could take 3 of my products in my kitchen now and convert it to this one item that Pamper Chef has now. And I'll pass the older items down to family members. So that is a way to approach this when they say that they're downsizing or they really don't need anything. All right. And then the last thing I wanted to tell you guys, every 10 contacts will get you one booking. So you're going to hear no. So right now you got to just put up those big girl pants and suck it up because that is going to be the nature of this business. You're going to hear no, you're going to get rejected. And you have to realize that every rejection that you get is going to take you further to a yes. Take notes and keep moving along. That is the best thing I can tell you. If I would have quit every time I heard a no, I probably would have been done in my first 30 days of business because we didn't have all the crazy perks that are there now. But I got a kit just like all of you did. And, my contact list when I started, my own family would not even help me by hosting parties. My husband's one of 8. And to this day, I still have some of his siblings who have not purchased or hosted a party from me. Some of my nearest and dearest friends have not hosted parties for me. I know sometimes I think that they chuckle and think, oh, Vanessa and her pampered chef stuff, but I'm the one laughing when I'm earning vacations and I'm the one laughing when my kitchen's full with new products and, I'm paying for my boys to be involved in something. So you're going to have naysayers. You're going to have negativity. You are going to be faced with challenges just like in a football game or in anything else in life. Life is going to be hills and valleys. We all know this. It always seems like when everything is going good, something happens and we end up in that valley. But how you handle it is where you're going to then how you handle it is what's going to then determine that outcome that you're going to get is going to determine that success. Everybody's faced with so many different things. So just keep plugging along and realize that you're planting seeds to a bigger football field every single time you ask somebody, have the conversation, and work through the rejections. And now we have our call to action for today. So today's call to action steps that I have for you. I want you to reach out to 50 people in the next 2 days. So that's 25 people a day, guys. And if you statistically figure that out, that's like 2 to 3 bookings that you would get if you do 50 people. Every time you get a rejection, I want you to post on the team page, I got rejected. Because the more fun we make this and that we realize getting rejected really at the end of the day doesn't mean anything other than the fact we keep plugging away. And we planted that seed that will hopefully grow later. So we're going to make it fun. I want you to put, I got rejected, put up a fun picture, whatever it is. Whoever gets the most rejection is going to get a prize from me. So I will honor the prize to any team. So by all means, leaders, send your people to me. And why do you think I'm doing this? Because it means you're working your business. If you do not get rejected, chances are you're not reaching out to people. Rejection is a part of this business, and it shows we're working. You know, like I said, to every 10 gets you one yes. So I want you to take that step and push yourself and put yourself out there to get rejected and then learn how to handle it. And as always, you could always send rejections to your leaders. We can help you work through it if you are stuck on what to say and help you with verbiage. And 10 years into your business, you will also learn how to handle this in a different approach. So I am going to stop sharing. That way, we for any questions and come back here for my video. All right. And